And what's up, everybody? It's your boy Fernando, bigger right there, back for my third game of the group stage in HDC Season 3. And for that week 3, for game 3 rather, because there is no precise order to play your game, no schedule. You just have a time, like an amount, like 1 month to play all the 4 games, and in the order you want, you can play for the 4th in 1 day if you want to. There's no like restriction about like 1 game per week or whatnot. So for game 3 we were facing JoshHOOHA and the Cape Arboks. Really cool dude as well. He got a YouTube channel, so I'll link him in the descriptions, as well as his side of the battle, because he already uploaded it when I'm recording this, and then when then will be pause. I apologize for last video. I wanted to add some music in post production, but I totally forgot. So yeah, I just totally forgot about like putting music. So now I will record directly with music, so I know I've got music. I just hope it's not like too loud in your ears. Normally not, but we will see. His draft right there is composed by Heatran, Mega Heracross, Gliscor, Kumala, Slurpuff, Minior, Executor, Alolan Executor, really fun mon, Diggersby, and Broxish. He has an interesting team, even if like I had the matchup versus him, because she doesn't have a water resist beside Executor and Broxish, that both doesn't like coverage from my Mega Shark. Like Crunch destroys Broxish, Ice Fang destroys Alolan Eggy. So there's that. And besides that, his draft, it's pretty weak to water. Tran, Gliscor, Minior, Diggersby, that's kind of really water weak, I'd say. Heatran is no big deal really to deal with, because I got like Shy Zygarde, which always Oko, buying a potential Shocker Berry. I got even Safe Metou to take advantage of it too as well. Gengar, which with F-Blast could do a lot of damage, and even with Shadow Ball spam could be annoying for his draft as well. So yeah, there's potential hazard setter here. Yeah, Heatran, Gliscor, Slurpuff, Tran and Gliscor for rocks, obviously, Kumala for Sticky Web, Minior for rocks as well, and Diggersby with rocks and T-Spikes. Rocks and spikes would be broken if that bunny got T-Spikes. Anyway, yeah, other things to say. I want to be faster to pick out like what I want to say about the draft. I know I took quite a long time in the last video. Mega Heracross, definitely a big wall breaker, does like 2-hit KO all my draft with all the moves he got. Even like Fizz of Zygarde could get to HKO depending on rules and whatnot, but nah, you know, it's kind of depending on its attack investment as well to do damage to me, but I got things to like revenge kill it pretty easily, I'd say, like Shark, Mesprit, even Zygarde with a potential bended 1000 arrows if Arak was in range. Rotom Heat could be a potential as well. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I can spoil it with Among Us, and yeah, that's pretty much it. It's like move from Gengar as well. Doesn't like to switch it in. He does have a next sudden switching, I'd say, to my Gengar, which is Kamala. And basically, like if Kamala comes, I know for sure it'd be AV just for my Gengar, and potentially Rotom Heat as well. Yeah, there's that. Meteor could be a threat too if it sets up, but I have things to do for that. And yeah, so 6 I expected versus me. I don't know. Tran for sure, because even if I have things to deal with, it totally blocks things I have, like the Rotom Heat, the Mesprit to an extent, Among Us if I'm not really Stomping Tantrum. New move, he got this between Sun Moon and Trust and Moon, which is super good. Axelgo is kind of walled by any variation of Heatran, so I wanted to be prepared for that. Targeting as well is kind of a wall by Tran. So Tran definitely Mega Hera because that thing is so monstrous. Gliscor, which is one of its only switching to my Zygarde, because even like Slurpuff doesn't like coming on head decks if I'm bended, for instance, with hazards up, things like that. So Gliscor is one of the big switching he has. He's real only defensive switching, like that can come in, take the attack and then like heal up, I'd say. But even if I'm bended, I think I can't. I'm not. It's a decent roll to THO, like decent in his favor, because like with Poison Heal, you just get 12% recovery per turn and not 6 with leftover basically. So having like I can't trade care with that normally, if I remember correctly. So there's there. The 3 first. Kumala was an option. Slapef was a likely one as well because of the fact that is a fairy type. So yeah. Diggersby was an option. Bruxish was an option as well for a Quadget, for spamming attacks in general, being able to deal with my Among Us pretty well, and maybe I don't know. He could bring all of its strength. That's the thing when you're playing like with 9 months instead of 11. You know, like there's Mondar coming, even their matchup are even, and yeah. So so yeah, that was kind of hard to build for, but I built a team, a 6, able to deal with all combination of 6 he will bring. So I'm pretty happy with that. So a Solid Snake at first with a pretty interesting set. Enough speed to outspeed Heatran, max HP, and the rest into attack with Adamant Nature. Just to do a bit of damage. The purpose was just to be able to come on Heatran, if it's defensive or even offensive, like locked into a move or without HP ice, and maybe like predicting a fire move or just like a protect or the stealth rocks coming up, and basically come and set up on it with sub coil, like sub on the switch on something, coil up, gain my defense, living maybe the next attack you want to go for, recover with my Papa Berry and hit something and be able to set up again. So with that said, in particular, I hit everything in JoshHOOHA's draft, like Heatran is 1k, +1 or +2, like Mega Heracross doesn't like quite take it well, I'd say, like about 30-40% if I'm +2, or it doesn't like quite want to take it if it's like already weakened with rocks up. Gliscor, I can beat it with 1v1 if it's not like Ice Fangs, SD, like basically if it's not like SD plus another move to break my third, I can set up on it too. If it doesn't have Ice Fang, I could I beat it 1v1 because of my set, being able to sub up, to coil up and hit after. Kumala is not switching anyway, doesn't want to take damage. Slap-off won't appreciate taking damage if I'm set up. Meteor as well, even after not even, but even more after the first hit, because he will be grounded after, so weak to certain errors. Alolan Executor is the things that could come in, but even then, like if I got a dragon move, she's not, which I don't on that set, but because you don't, I don't need it. I don't feel like I need it on this matchup, but won't appreciate like coming on a maybe +1 or +2 thousand errors and then like dragon move. Diggersby doesn't quite take it well too when I'm set up, and Bruxish is basically like I guess it's 1k when I'm +2 if I remember the calc, but yeah, just basically being bulky as well. Coil over G-Dance because I wanted to have the bulk to tank hits better from the Mega Hera, the Slap-Off, even the Meteor, all that stuff, even the Bruxish, but I won't risk it because Ice Fang will still do a lot of damage to me, so yeah. Up next we have Shoik with enough speed to outspeed a Bruxish, the fastest thing I need to outspeed, I guess, because I don't want like I at first like I didn't think he will bring Speedy Gliscor because it's less bulky than if it was clearly defensive, so it's not as much as a problem because he isn't as bulky as a defensive Gliscor, if you see the point. Yeah, so that's basically I can outspeed everything. The possibility of Sticky Web is annoying because I can't like protect. I can't have like Turbo because it's 13 Mega obviously, but I can deal with that pretty well. I think my team isn't like too. I mean, I'd say like it's not too weak to Sticky Web, because I got things to like Mesprit, Rodham, which are levitators, things like Amogus or Seismited even, which are pretty slow naturally. So yeah, and even like Zygarde doesn't need speed to be good in that matchup. Like just doesn't just need to be just needs to be bulky and set up to do something. So enough speed for Bruxish, max attack, rest in HP, with Psychic Fence for the Mega Heracross basically, and that's it. Yeah. Tren, we got Liquidation, Ice Fang for the Gleesful, 2 for Noko, Kumala, Crunch or Liquidation, Slurpuff, Liquidation does decent strong anyway, Meteor, Liquidation, Ice Fang, Alolan Eggy, Ice Fang as well, Diggersby, Liquidation, and Bruxish Crunch, so I got all the move I need for for his team. Nothing to say, nothing more to add about Shark. Then we got LSD, the Among Us with Fizz Def Among Us with Rocket Helmet to deal a bit of damage to his physical threats, like potential Diggersby, potential like switching on close combat from Mega Heracross, things like that, being able to provide setup, doing damage to the Meteor as well, the Slurpuff even, Spore to spore something, Cleesmog to avoid setups, Giga Drain for recovery, HP Ice for Gleeschool and Meteor, because that's the two things I'm a bit scared about. Gleeschool for being able to do good damage to it, like really good damage to it, and Meteor, it does break a sub of Meteor to have HP Ice, and even like I don't think he will bring sub. At first, because the game already has already been played. Sorry, so I didn't think at first he will bring Samir versus me, because he doesn't need to avoid Spore or something. So, and even who will stay with an Among Us on a Meteor? Me, basically, just to like avoid a setup with Glismog. That was a plan, but spoiler, I would spoil it, but he did bring Summit, and that was kind of annoying. Unfortunately, I had HP Ice here. Fizz Dev, because I needed a switch into Mega Hera in a certain point of view. I mean, in a even switching, I'd say, because just have a fine resist, very resist for the Slurpuff as well. So yeah, that's that. Mewtwo, up next we have Mew 2.0, but back again, Mew 2.0 will stay and remain the nickname of Mesprit for always. I say now for always. Choice Scarf with enhanced speed to outspeed Heatran, max special attack, the rest put into HP, Ice Beam, Chibo, U-Turn Psychic. Basically all I needed, I felt like, for his draft. I mean, I'm pretty much full by trend, but I can Thunderbolt Paralyze it. Psychic for Mega Heracross, Ice Beam for Gliscor, for Noko, anytime. Like in the match versus Hera in the URL, if you remember. That, like, I thought that I was I bring Mesprit and I put Ice Beam on it. It was something. It's the first thing I saw while building. Anyway, Kamala is in like too bad. If it's AV, he won't like have recovery move, and if it's PDF, like Hitran or Shark deal with it. Even like Among Us to an extent. I don't know. I've got things for the Kamala because he doesn't have like that good of a defense, so I can hit hard. Slap won't appreciate taking Psychic, Mini or Ice Beam or Tibble. Alone Executor, Ice Beam, and Tibble for the Bruxish as well. Yeah, that's pretty much it. U-turn for momentum, basically, because having momentum is really good against that type of sim. Up next we have French food, back again once again. Again, Fizz because I did something to. That was much more for the potential Gliscor, the Komala, or the Diggersby, or the Bruxish even, because I got the water immunity, and then like I can tank hits pretty good with it. Rocks for obviously setting rocks as called for stab and potential burn on something. No, I don't. Please don't like now. Yeah, thank you. I didn't want to go on my YouTube YouTube window. What I want to say more? Yeah, it's cool because it's good. It's good for the trend, getting a burn on Heracross, for the Gliscor. Obviously, Kamala can't get burned. A burn on Slurpuff. If it's a potential Balladrum set, Mini-Oro, doing good damage to it and potentially getting a burn away. And he's in its shield down form. Alola Negi having something. No, I mean Alola Negi doesn't care of Skull, but having a burn could be cool. Diggersby doesn't like Skull as well, and Bruxish doesn't want to get burned. Earth Power for Trent only, I guess. Yeah, basically, even if I had Skull, but if Trent isn't like Chihinko with Skull, so I needed something else. Something else, I didn't want to put like Earthquake and having a minus something minus another. I could have, but I get again knock off like being minus attack doesn't really. It was the best thing for me, just in case he had. Just in case he, I don't know why, but Earth Power was good as well. Maybe hitting things harder. Harder like the Slurpuff to an extent, Diggersby to an extent, Bruxish to an extent. Even I had knockoff to get rid of items potentially, leftovers. Potential life orb or choice bends on something, toxic orb or Gliscor, even, yeah. 23 minutes, I'm taking really long for my Timberlake pods, but you know I like to explain things a lot. Maybe I take longer because if it's in English and I need to think more about what I want to say. As then I do it in French because it's not my because English is not my mother language, obviously. And plus we got a pretty interesting Rodham set. I mean classic Rodham set. Willa overhead Volts with Defog because I needed a Defog for getting rid of hazards, potential rocks, spikes, sticky web. I wanted all that gone. Voltsway for momentum, overheat, and Willow. I'm pretty much rolled by Trent, but even like being spell checks big round wasn't like worth it because I already had Zygarde, Shark, and Seismitoad for Trent. So yeah, that's my counter to But again, grass move, the Mega Heracross wanna do, give me another fairy resist as well, give me things to switch on Equake as well, resistance to the trend as well, another one. So that's good. That said, is enough speed to outspeed a non-invested speed Gliscor and being able to Will-O-Wisp it and basically like negates totally and basically negates its toxic orb overhit because you obviously need it, and that's in general a good step when Trend is gone. Voster for momentum, default for different purposes. 20 in speed F lets me hit hits from the Heatran from the potential specs Heatran after rocks, like being able to not to avoid less power with levitate and resisting the fire or still move is good, so they're there, and rest into defense with bolt nature. That's basically the team, and I will do as the last video. That means we will see us back in 1 sec for the past commentary. See you there. And we are back with the game. As you can see, JoshHOOHA brought a team of Diggersby, Gliscor, Heatran, Slowpoke, a Mega Heracross, and Metou. Really scary team at first. I was thinking like maybe Rocks, Gliscor, potential spikes on could be there on Diggersby as well. But I was like more for leading a potential like Scarf Diggersby could be a thing. Trend could be anything. Magma Trap, Spidef, Fast Tone Trend, Scarf Specs could be anything versus me because Trend is so good. So that Slowpoke was more predicting a Belladrum variant or maybe just a Sticky Web and Endeavor set, which does exist. Does it get Endeavor? I can't remember. I can't remember if it does get Endeavor. I'm not sure, but a potential like Sticky Web options. So that Mega Hera wasn't sure what he will bring. He could be Seb, he could be like Max Big, he could be Max Speed, he could be like bulky. Just really what he want to. And Minio could be. I was expecting more of a setup variant because if it's only real good set and if even more versus me, so yeah. Let's just hop on into the game. I decided to lead with my Rodham as he led with his Pink Tornado, and I will miss the Will-O-Wisp. I miss the Willow, which is kind of annoying because you will see later there will be a long and annoying process of me trying to get a burn on the Slowpoke. I wanted to get the burn off really quickly because if it was a Belladrum set, I just could burn it and go to Among Us after Claysmog and do whatever, or even just cripple it down if it just wants to set up whips, which he does. And because of that, I don't get the burn on his Pink Tornado, and that like could have speed up the game a bunch, I'd say, but that's whatever. he decided to brought out his Heatran on my Defog as a Volt Switcher, and he does a really good predict and does set up a Toxic my Zygarde, which means that my Zygarde set is pretty much useless turn 3. Now, because I don't have leftovers, I have the Papa Berry, and even then, like, Zygarde couldn't, like, just sit there and being able to set up and hit. I wanted to do that early because he went into his trend early, and that's a really good play on its part. I was more so expecting rocks because they're annoying for me, they're annoying for my Defogger, which is Rodham, so that's kind of a bad thing, but yeah, that's kind of a bad thing right there. I decided to switch into my Mew 2.0 just to take momentum, as he decided to go in its double in its cage to take a potential hit from my Zygarde. And then I go for the U-turn just for momentum, being able to like bring out my Rodham to defog if he stayed in, or having momentum. He decided to switch out into his trend as I bring out please. Yeah, we will go in slow because it's too fast. Okay, U-turn on the trend. I bring out my French food. Now I was kind of okay. Do I set up rocks or do I just call? I just call right there because if he wanted for no reason to risk his Heracross or even Gliscor, I could burn that thing. But yeah, I do go for a score, not get the burn, unfortunately. Switch out into Rodham to default the webs incomings. I was now sure that thing was defensive because he had leftovers, whatnot, not set up variant. Defog on the trend switch in. Basically, the first like 20-25 turns are more same repeat of the first turn because we were just like he was totally in control of the game because his defensive goal was too solid for me. I bring out Zygarde on his trend, just 1000 arrows, get the damage, does nothing to the pink tornadoes of his Feast Death as hell for Zygarde. I think he does realize I don't have much attack investment as well, but I wasn't sure if he get the damage at first. He goes for a wish to wish pass into his trend. No big deal, doesn't matter because Heatran was high in HP. So yeah, I decided to Volt Switch again just to keep up momentum and bring in Shock. Has he set up rocks again? And now I was like, okay, I can just like quick click liquidation and claim one. And the pink tornado comes out and doesn't. It was a wall, and because I didn't have the defense drop, I didn't want to take potential fur attack, as he goes for a protect, which is a really solid play. Now, I'll go out into my Among Us at the protects to see what I will go for. Gain more HP. I just pull predicting a switch, and after I just pull again as he wishes, and that's pretty bad because Sweet Veil avoids sleeps. That things I didn't remember at first. I remember of the unburden thing, so not Sweet Veil, which is kind of helpful for him. He does wish back up his pink tornado, which will be able to tank my Shark and Ziga pretty well again. I just defog, bring out Directless Solid Snake just to put the pressure on, and I decided to go for a double switch into my Frankfurt right there to just catch the pink tornado. We pretty much know his set now. That thinks that is Wish protects sticky web and an offensive move, which is dazzling gleam. He didn't go for it now, but he will soon. That's the time I was not yet. I decided to go back into Rodham on the Diglim. There you go. To defog the hazards once again. Switching into Heatran. Pretty really repetitive game, but it was a fun game and a cool game in the sense that he was in control in the beginning, and I felt but I knew I had the way to pressure him. I switched out into Shark, putting rocks as he Toxics, trying to catch out my Safe Metou, but it does catch out on my Shark, which is basically the same, I would say, because he is able to whittle down my Shark. Once again, going to Rodham, being able to have a bit more leftovers recovery here. I think I will always, yeah. Predicting like not the trend basically because I always show Volt Switch when trend comes out, but maybe the Diggersby or things Glisco. She does wish go for webs as a Volt Switch, and then I just try to get a burn on that thing because that thing is annoying as fuck to deal with, even if I did knocked off its leftovers. That's a pretty like I just call until I get a burn. He wishes up, he dig leaves, basically doing no type of damage to me. Like I just recovered up after, like no big deal at all. Scold. Please don't like showdown. Uh, Wish, protect. I just use more and more skull. I did go for a chunk of skull right there, and I was like not getting a burn, so I get in now, and I was like, finally I get the burn, so I can go back into Rodham on the Jiggly and put more pressure on, because I can easily defog as he breathed out his Hercules. Mega Heracross. Now I wasn't sure if it was a speedy Mega Heracross or not. I do have a bunch of speed of my Rodham, but I didn't want to be fast Rodham because I wanted to be a more bulky variant. Sorry for that. It must be, yeah. Sorry for that. So go back. Right there was I defogged the webs away. I could just like maybe try and reload that thing, or even try and overheat that thing because it doesn't know how much speed I have on that thing. He does know I'm faster than his Tran and his Slapper, which are most likely not speed invested. So it doesn't know much about my speed. So I think I tried to just overheat to get some damage or to burn that thing. As he Mega Evolve reveals to be faster and kill me, obviously with the Rock Blast doesn't. This Valkyrie doesn't matter because it does always hit 5 times. Here I decided to go a pretty like crazy play of going into the Die Guard and Coil Up. Why? Because I knew I could take one attack and possibly like recover with my Papa Berry and doing a bit of damage on the Mega Heracross, because depending on its investment in HP or in bulk in general, I didn't kill it with my Psychic at that range. If it was like max HP, it wasn't. I didn't kill it. I didn't kill it with Psychic Fangs from Shark as well, and I was afraid of a potential Bullet Seed. Things he normally should have carried, but fully funny enough, she didn't have it. She said in its video like she didn't know why he didn't bring a bring bullets in to deal with my Metou, but that's kind of that. He explained it in his video, Josh. So check it out to know. But it was like really funny, but after, and on now, I decided to coil up, hit the pin missile, and with the boost in defense, I'm just like 31%, and the toxic will put me in range of my berry. So I can like 1000 arrows doing 33% of damage. He will miss the second pin missile, which is kind of bad because he could have killed me last turn, I think, with toxic damage. No, he couldn't. Okay, but he would have killed me that turn, and I get a hit off on another hit off on that thing, as I decided to bring out my Mesprit, and not quite sure if it was like max HP or not. I decided to just Psychic to get rid of that thing and not like potentially T-Ball or something. So yeah, goes into hit and got the speed up drop. I would switch out anyway because I don't do damage to this. He toxic predicting my 6 meter, but I go rather in Shark, and now Shark gets a kill basically because all is in range. I want to explain that particularly play. He's at 1%, I could kill him, basically. But I wasn't sure if... normally, I think I could take an attack from the Gliscor if it was a defensive Gliscor, so I didn't want him to protect and gain a turn of toxic damage on me, because I would have been in range after that. And he did a really, really good play, like, and I switched down into a Mangus because if he wanted to like just dig him, he died and I don't get damage, and yeah, and he does go for the sticky web. Now that's kind of bad because my Rotom is dead, and I'm down 4. Now I'm down like 4 to 6. Basically, no hazards up. Nothing, and we turned 48. It was like kind of a decisive game between us because the winner won. The one there, I guess it was the JoshHOOHA's last game. I'm not sure, but if he won versus me, he went through group stage. If I won versus him, I go through. Basically, that's the kind of the game it was, like really, really decisive, close game, and he does go for the sticky web. I would say that. Yeah, and I lost my set. Sorry. So I would have, if I won versus him, I go through. So I want to preserve my shark because no one will resist on my opponent parts. That thing is gone, so I can just like spam liquidation, and he set up sticky webs. That means that potentially Dig is faster, Gliscor is faster, and anything could be faster, which is really bad. I didn't think he will go for webs here, and he died from burn. Now I'm like with my Among Us, I decided to switch into my French food to take an attack, and he goes for Taunt. I was okay. Give me the super haul. He missed the toxic, well, which will have quite an influence because the turn of toxic I would have taken here would have had an influence on the rest of the game because saves me to lived on some HP later and could have been just dead because of that toxic miss. So yeah, just go for double earth power because quite effective. You see the damage, like it was full speed of turn, so you see the damage. Skull wouldn't have be able to. He just go into Hercules, and I just go like to my LSD just to see if it had bullets in or not. I didn't know for At that moment, he didn't have bullets in. But gauging the damage, I just like shrugged because I can't do anything to it. And there was no just go to turn. We were on turn 52. Next turn, Sack Shark. Sorry for that. Now was a pretty interesting turn. As you know, I'm a Scarf Master, and here I could have like just won the game if it's Mega Hera has no HP. With the damage I did on with Zygote, I knew he had some HP investment. I didn't know if it was max HP or just like some massive HP investment but not max. Ice Beam didn't kill. And the reason is because of that, if it was max HP. If it was no HP, it killed. And because I knew he had HP, I couldn't go for Ice Beam and just finish up the game because I'm Scarf. Ice Beam, like basically, if I will explain what would have happened if that Mega Heracross hadn't any HP investment. I would have killed the Mega Heracross, and all what's left could potentially die to Ice Beam. Gliscor gets one shot. The Metou gets 2 shots, and I can take an attack even after a Shell Smash. And Diggersby doesn't quite appreciate taking an Ice Beam and gets 3 KO as well. So knowing, and that's why like having sticky webs up mattered, because I just could have like maybe finished with my my shot or deal damage with my shot, because besides the Hercules, nothing is damaged on its team, on JoshHOOHA's team, which is bad because I needed like chip on the Diggersby to kill and a bit of chip on the Metou to kill. So I decided to go for Psychic. And now the Gliscor come out. I don't want him to set up on me, like potentially set up a SD or something, being like sped up SD Gliscor, because Psychic doesn't do enough damage to HKO it. And because I'm locked into Psychic, I have to switch out because I'm Scarf, obviously. So I decided to go into my friend food. He rocked Polish Up, revealing he is a maybe more offensive thing, and he decided to SD as I scored for doing a lot of damage right there. And as you can see, if I took the damage turn before, I would have been dead here. So I killed the Gliscor. He tried to set up again on with the Diggersby, but I just needed burn. I'd say didn't really matter because I had anyway Among Us to kill, so it wasn't a really factor. I just needed damage to the point where Ice Beam could KO. Because I thought he wouldn't set him on me because cold was obviously an option, being able to burn and dealing a lot of damage. But he decided to set up. I think it's it's a bit of a joke because I think he just had to attack just to put me in range of a potential Metou sweep, and not like having to go for 2 shell smashes to be able to kill me. So I just called it. I just died from Toxic. Now I go to my Among Us just to kill that thing. She just go for the return. I just ate that. Broke your element, life orb, Giga Drain. He's gone. Basically, he's gone. And then is where I was down 4-6 and I'm up 2-1 in that game. Like, it was quite the twisting situation, but that's not because I'm ahead numerically speaking, like in numbers, speaking with numbers, that I won the game. Because that thing could be a problem. I can't support it because of its shields down. And it was kind of 50-50 now. I thought she didn't have sub, but she reveals sub as I go for clear smoke, preventing any setup as all. She goes for shell smash behind the sub. HPS breaks the sub. Even in that form, I was quite surprised, and he decided to go in for acrobatics to kill my LSD, my Among Us. Now, the thing is, in that form, depending on speed investment once again, and in that form, my mess speed could still outspeed, and I live an attack from at +2. I live a +2 attack from this because mess speed is so bulky, basically. So, I was like, okay, if he shell smash up or subs again, I need your HPS to prevent an insult. Because if he subbed up, he could have been like, no, he wasn't in range of its of being he wasn't like in the range of HP in which he will have been in its other form. So he had to shell smash up again, live an attack, and be able to kill me after to deal damage. Because the rocket helmet didn't put him in that range. And again, if it had shell smashed up, I would have done a lot of damage, but it would have been in its other form and I would have lost. But he's not. Mesprit not touched by Sticky Web. I go back, go for Ice Beam, and win the game. What a game, boys and girls. What a game. It was 63-turn game long. Really, really hard to comment. First, I wanted to record it live in English, but my PC crashed literally in the game. Like, maybe you see like where I'm back. Yes, that's here, because like here right there, my PC just gave me the screen with the side face, you know, and crashed down. So I have to restart it up, and I was okay. Like we are 56 turn in, and I don't have any traces of my recall, so I would post comment, and even in post comment, it was a really, really tough game. We 3-1 now because it was my game 3 and my last group stage game, because my game versus Hulk doesn't count really as a group stage game because we're not in the same group. Don't know if we can say that, but I will. And yeah, I think we are in a pretty good spot to go through 2-on-1, 2 back-to-back wins. That's pretty cool as well. And the Mess Spring once again saving us. I have no voice anymore. Hope you enjoyed it. It would be quite a long video once again. So I hope you enjoy that, and yeah, please subscribe, leave a like. Don't forget to check JoshHOOHA. All link will be in description, and yeah, see you there, guy. Bye bye. Take care.